Happy New Day, Seekers. I'm Barbara Engel. Welcome to my channel. I help you decode your life and help you to get the message of things around you. And one of the messages I've been picking up is that the astrological aspects for the next couple of months are going to be really challenging. And I'd really like to help you deal with things more effectively. So I've written a little book on stress and the Zodiac Signs. And in this book, I help you to see what your default star sign stress pattern is. And I also make some suggestions for how to change that and try doing things differently or seeing things differently. So I'm giving away a free copy of the book to everyone who joins my mailing list. So if you'd like a free copy of my book, Stress and the Zodiac Signs, please send me an email on the address at the end of the video. Now, to tell you a little bit more about the astrological aspects, I've got my computer sitting here, and there's currently quite a challenging thing. Mars, the ruler of Aries and Scorpio, is in its own sign of Aries. So passion, energy, drive are very, very strong, and it's going to be affecting everybody. But the Sun and Mercury, which is how we express ourselves, are in a square aspect to Mars, which means discussions can turn into arguments just like that. Things can go wrong. You can lose your temper with someone, or someone can lose their temper with you. And, well, this is why I want you to get a copy of my book quickly, because this is going to be stressful and it's going to last for at least another 4 months. So there's no easy end in sight, but what there is a choice, an opportunity for everybody to choose to do things differently. So the first star sign that I'm going to pick a card for is Aries. And here we go. The King of Pentacles just jumped out for you, Aries. And whenever this card comes up, it says the Pentacles cards speak about the environment, the physical things, the world you live in, the way that you act, the way you do things. And the King of Pentacles is the master. So now, while Aries is in your sign, you know how you're going to be driving along and wanting to get to the point. But the trouble is, looking at the astrology, you are more than likely going to charge into things that are going to be really difficult to deal with. The focus point of your energy is going to be at home. And losing your temper, getting impatient with the people around you, is likely to prove to be a very dangerous pastime. So you must know that you're going to be aggravated by being in a small space and having the same people around you all the time. But you dare not give in to that temper. Rather, redirect your energy. And one of the best places for this kind of energy to work is working out, exercising, go and dig a hole in the garden and plant something, or tackle a home improvement project, or tidy up a cupboard or something. But don't let this energy go round and round and start to turn you into a human firecracker, because you know that's not who you really are. And in the interest of public safety and health and harmony at home, please keep things as controlled as possible. The hidden card at the bottom of the pack is the Ace of Pentacles, and this is a really nice card to have, because when you take control of your emotions, you can build such a positive energy that it could bring in an entirely new way of doing things. You could find that there are more and more opportunities to create harmony than there are to create disharmony. These are really nice cards to have because they're both upright. So, Aries, you know that you can be very masterful and you can be a total pain in the backside. The choice is yours. The harvest will be very clear, but do try and stay in control of your emotions. Taurus, you're the next one, and let's have a look and see, where are these cards happening for Taurus? Well, because of the way that the planets have moved according to your solar chart, you may find yourself also suffering from a lot of stress. And you being the kind of person that you are, you may find that you just try and put these feelings away down below. You don't want to look at them. You're worried about them. If they come out, these things could get ugly. And while you may think that you're in charge, the the Sun and Mercury, which is how you express yourself, are sitting in your third house of communication. And this means that even if you're aggravated and you're trying not to show anybody, it's going to come out in the way that you speak. So you could be irritated, impulsive, say something unexpectedly nasty, or just turn into a bull in a china shop. You know that Taurus people have tempers. And so the first card that I pull for you is the Seven of Cups reversed. Now, the Seven of Cups is a really good card to have because it says you're at a point where you can start to look at things clearly and make better choices. So when you find that you're feeling rather stressed, you know what? It's not going to kill you to admit to somebody that you're feeling a bit stressed and you don't know what to do. Already, that will help you to diffuse the tension, and it will help other people to understand that when you make those snarky comments, it's not personal. However, the Ten of Swords here says you have to be very, very careful, because if you give in to bad behavior, you may find that other people start to see you as a real betraying the harmony or the trust that they've placed in you, or you may find it very difficult to trust people because what they do makes you get aggravated and irritated. Mars in your 12th house suggests that you need to take time to redirect your energy. If you can meditate, do some Tai Chi, enroll in a martial arts class, take a long walk, do something to get your energy moving and diffuse that energy and channel it into something that can help you to grow as a person. But it may mean that you shut up and put up. Remember, that will affect your face and all your body language as well. So be very careful of the kind of message that you send to people. And if you don't know, ask them. There's only one way to change, and that's when people are showing you where there's a need for change. The next zodiac sign is Gemini. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to pull up all of these cards. Gemini, your focus is on how you can actually just get on better with people at the moment, because you know you're quite an energetic sign as well, and a lot of mental energy. But for you, the way that this energy, this Mars energy is working, Mars is in your 11th house, which means you need to express, you need to be talking to people out there. So if you're in sales, if you're starting to work on building up your contacts, sending emails, writing to people, that'll be really good for you. And at least, you know, when you're communicating with people and you need to write something, you can edit it out, because you don't want to just rush in. So if there's an important phone call or conversation that you need to have with a friend or a colleague, then this may be a good time to have it. You might be under pressure, so hold your thoughts and do your best to stay focused. The first card I get for you, is the Two of Swords, and this is the card of conversations. And whenever this card comes up, it suggests that somebody may have something that they need to talk about and they don't know how to approach it. And if this Mars impulsive energy just leads you to charge in, you know, you could say the wrong thing and let the wrong twin out of the box. You know, you got that dark twin who can say things because you just feel like hurting somebody or stirring something up. Not going to be good for you, Gemini. Please take note of the Two of Swords that says some conversations will happen correctly at the right time, as long as you've created a good environment for it to happen in. Sarcasm is not a form of wit at the moment. People could see that as being very aggressive. Your hidden card is the Wheel of Fortune, that coming upright says there are definitely changes happening, and you need to be aware that whatever you decide to discuss, you might be discussing something. Somebody might mention there's a new opportunity coming up. Have you heard it? So you'll find that you have plenty of energy and drive for tackling new things. The only problem with all of this energy is that you could jump out of the frying pan into the fire. So if you do have a big decision to make and you're not sure if this is going to be worthwhile, you can maybe chat to me and perhaps we could do a little reading for you to help you see. I do hope that this helps you keep on track, and if it does, and for Taurus and Aries as well, if you found that this little reading helps you stay on track, please drop your comment into the box below. I love hearing how these readings help people. Right, now we have Cancer. Cancer, what we have now is the Sun and Mercury are in your sign. So you're very, very personal. You're taking everything very seriously. Now, you're generally such a caring person that people don't always notice that you are very deep and sometimes have other ways of looking at things. Now, the Mars is sitting in your 10th house, which is your house of career. And so you may find work matters very challenging right now. You have to get out there, you have to be out of your shell and working, but it may be really difficult because even a stray comment, even something that could be classified as constructive criticism could go straight to your heart and you could feel so bad. You either let somebody down or you're not good enough. Please be aware that these feelings can hold you back. The Temperance card, which is your advice card, suggests do your best to keep those feelings as balanced as possible. Paying attention to your own feelings, paying attention to what's happening around, and finding a balance will be really good for you. Your Hidden Factor card, coming from the bottom of the pack, is the Six of Cups. And this card could mean you could either find yourself talking to someone that you trust, a family member or a friend, or it could mean that you just look at everything as being so stressful and find yourself that you're just wishing for the good old days when things weren't this challenging, but it's never going to come back. Those good old days have to be rebuilt. And these cards are saying, if you can find your own personal sense of balance, you should be able to get through this time. I do hope that this helps keep you on track in these rather challenging times. All right. The next star sign that we're going to pick cards for is Leo. And Leo, you might find yourself in a phase for the next couple of weeks at least where you feel like you want to get stuff done. You want to work behind the scenes. You don't need anybody to know exactly what you're doing, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So you'll value having a little bit of space and time for yourself. However, what is going to be quite insistent is the news, what's happening out there, trying to keep on track or abreast of the new developments in your potential or your preferred career at the moment. So you may find yourself wanting to work but also being very distracted, and these very distractions can cause a great amount of personal tension for you, and this could mean you either get very frustrated or temperamental. You know how temperamental you can be, and if you don't believe me, ask the people around you. When you get fed up, you get fed up. And this, you need to perhaps have a little warning flag that you can wave when people are pushing you too far, so that you don't have to just roar. You need to just say, there, that's the line. You don't need to go any further than that. I'll get the message. But try and maintain your sense of humor too. Your advice card, Leo, is the Empress. Now, the Empress, when she comes up reversed, suggests that you could end up wasting a lot of energy on something that's not going to work. So there may be new developments, interesting new things come along that grab hold of your attention, and you end up ignoring other things. So please be very careful how you approach these new interesting developments. And your warning card from the bottom of the pack, Leo, during this time of impatience and anger, is the Eight of Cups reversed. Now, whenever the Eight of Cups comes reversed, it suggests that you don't always want to back off. You know, you've got an axe to grind, and you're going to do it, and you don't mind waiting, but you'll get there. Be careful, because sometimes you could end up like a lion trying to take a bite out of an elephant, somebody who's got a thicker skin and who's far stronger than what you realize, and that could be a very wasteful opportunity, or a waste of energy. All right. Now for Virgo, Virgo, during this time, I just need to revolve your chart there. So this is Virgo. All right, you're going to be very, very involved with people, whether you're slowly starting to rebuild your contacts, your business connections, your friends, focusing on what's really interesting and absorbing to you. But you're also going to be faced with the awareness that there's a lot of stuff that people aren't talking about, and whether it's who's not doing things, they don't want to hear your input. So be careful. You have a wonderful tendency to see where a mistake lies and to point it out. But you can sometimes point things out to people so that it looks like they have tons of faults and you just have a few. And remember, everybody's fallible. You're not always as perfect as you would like to be. But you are often not wrong either when you notice things. So the way that you communicate whatever you're seeing is very important. Your advice card, the first card, is the 10 of Wands, which suggests that this is the old Virgo conundrum. There's so much to do. Now, only one person I know that can do it, and that's me. So I'm just going to do it. So you could be careful, or you need to be careful of working yourself to a standstill and not checking exactly what is needed and doing only that. Your warning card from the bottom of the pack is the Page of Wands reversed. Now, I need to tell you something. With Mars in the 8th house, Virgo, you're going to find that your physical energy is really strong. You could find yourself falling in love or falling in lust with your partner or somebody else, some forbidden person. Now, I'm just pointing this out. You may never go through this, but if it does happen, it's just because your physical energy is rising and you want to do something with this energy. So I would suggest if you find yourself getting aggravated or anything, do something like yoga or Tai Chi, something that will work with your body's energy and release it in a fine and more noble way than just getting the hots for someone and scheming how you're going to meet up with them. Look, there's nothing wrong with following up someone that you're passionate about. But remember, passion can wear a very attractive face, and that face's surname could be trouble. So just be careful, Virgo. Don't get yourself into too many difficult situations. Libra, the way that the stars are moving for you is also quite challenging. Now, please pay attention. I would love to get your feedback on this, Libra, because Mars is at the moment in Aries. That's your opposite sign. So you're going to be so attracted to other people who are different, people who are doing things differently to you. Or you may find that other people are just such a source of trouble and aggravation and irritation that it brings out the part of you that, you don't mind. You can give as good as you get in an argument, but you might not win any of these arguments that you start. So you have to admit to yourself before anything else that there's a lot happening that you don't always see. And if you give into that knee-jerk reaction and just react, you're going to find yourself in a corner that not even a smooth talker like you can get yourself out of. So this is the one focus. The other focus is on your career. So this is a great place for this energy to actually work. Let's see what your advice card. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups just symbolizes getting moving with the things that really mean something to you. You want to give value. You can just love what you do, and you don't want to be tied down. You want to keep things moving along and getting out of this stagnant situation that you've been dealing with. Now, the warning card from the bottom of the pack for you is the Magician reversed. Now, this card symbolizes that you could be taken in by somebody. You got to be careful. You want to move things along. You could find that you have to stretch the truth and promise something that you don't have any intention of doing, or you know what it is. Yes, let's have coffee. Yes, I'll get back to you. And then you never do. But the Mars energy is saying, be careful of what you promise, because what you don't do or what people don't do is going to still cause a great deal of anger. And that will have a backlash on you. So let me know Does this help to keep you out of trouble? And remember that for at least the rest of the week, because this influence is going to stick around for a while. The next zodiac sign is Scorpio. So Scorpio, I'm going to have a look at the astrological aspects for you. First and foremost, the moon is currently in Scorpio. So you are up close and personal about anything and everything. Your natural intensity is enhanced, as well as your gut feeling. So at this point in time, if somebody says something to you and it feels like they're not being totally honest, you are going to find that frustration and the anger just rises, and you go at something hammer and tongs without first finding out why is the person having difficulty in expressing to you something that you feel they should be telling the truth about. Now, you remember, you are wired to find out the truth, and you don't care how much it hurts, but everybody else around you has got a very big fear factor built in. So when you start thinking about truth and just tell me the truth, you can get really scary, and people don't want to do this. So be careful, Scorpio. While you take things so personally, you could see things in a rather warped light, and you don't want that to happen. You want to find understanding as well as truth. Your advice card here is the Ace of Wands, and this is to remind you that if you do things differently now, you could end up with an entire year-long cycle, because this card can symbolize a year in which things just flow very well for you because you're refusing to give in to the darker side of your nature. Let's see what the warning card says at the bottom of the pack. Oh, yes. Right. The Five of Pentacles reversed suggests that if you find that you get stuck, if there are things that you can't do, work-wise, financially, emotionally, this card can sometimes symbolize you feel like everybody else's, or the opportunities are there, but they're not happening for you. Don't feel sorry for yourself. There are help organizations, there are friendly ears that you can speak to. Let those feelings just be expressed and see how you can find a new way to do things. So I hope this helps you to keep on track, and let me know if it doesn't work for you. Well, maybe we can chat again and perhaps do a little reading for you so that you can find a better way of dealing with whatever issues you may be struggling with. I love getting people's comments, actually, so please, whatever you feel, if it's accurate, somebody dropped a note in the comment box the other day to say that this was so accurate, it's scary. Well, I don't mean to scare you, but I really do hope that these readings can offer you some value. All right, next star sign we're looking at is Sagittarius. Right now, Sagittarius, you are the kind of person who is just always striving to do the best and to see the bigger picture. But the problem is, what I can see here is that trying to see the bigger picture could mean that you miss yourself in the picture. And one of the things that you have that most people don't realize is you also have quite a temper. You know, you're quite easygoing, but when you get fed up, you get fed up. And Mars square the Sun and Mercury suggests that there are certain things that are going to make you really, really fed up. And let me just count the signs. That's 7, 8. So one of the things that's really going to get your goat right now is the way that people are being taken advantage of in some way. So you're going to be up there on your little soapbox talking about how things should be fair and laws should be changed and people should be doing things differently. Remember, don't just say how it should be done. You need to have some strategies too. So if you see something that needs to be fixed around the home, make sensible suggestions to people. Don't just waffle along and pontificate, because you just become an intellectual bore. And if you don't believe that you bore people because you just talk about your own opinion and you don't always listen to what other people say, and the High Priestess reversed as your advice card says, this is what you need to do. If you want to get to the truth, if you want to understand more, you need to listen as much as you talk. And you need to be patient. The High Priestess reverse says impatience is not going to serve you well. And this Mars in Aries, Mars is in a fire sign, you're a fire sign, You don't want that energy to go poof, 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 like a whole bunch of crackers. You want it all to stay as focused as you can and keep it moving in a constructive direction. Your warning card is the Hierophant. Now, this card, when it comes up reversed, suggests that you need to be very careful, because you could end up thinking that you know so much more, that you're above the rules, that you can get away with doing things, bending the rules, that they don't apply to you. And this is not a happy combination of cards to have. So slow down, check that you're getting the right picture, check that people actually want to hear what you have to say. And while you want to try something different, remember, you can't be too different, because then you're going to threaten people who have to do things with a certain routine. Do let me know if this helps keep you out of trouble, Sagittarius. You know, you're such a nice person generally. When I see things like this come up, I always need to warn you that you can stay being nice and not get yourself into a tight corner. All right. Next star sign that we're looking at is Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, you've been going through a really tough time. And right now in your sign, we've got Pluto, the planet of transformation, sitting right next to Jupiter, the planet of opportunity, sitting right next to Saturn, the planet of discipline. And you know, I don't even have to tell you, you know how tough these last couple of years have been for you. It's almost like you've been feeling like you've been in a vice, and things are just be getting tighter and tighter. But what you've also been learning is how to refine, how to become more practical with things. And oh, wow, look at this lovely card, the Queen of Pentacles. This is such a Capricorn card. She says, we understand how the environment works. We're taking care of the body. We're taking care that we do everything properly. This is a very nurturing card to have. And I do hope that this will help you to bring out the positive side of your nature. Now, where's all of this Mars energy going? You are going to be finding that there's a lot happening in and around your career, and by default, in and around the home. And one of the things that a Capricorn person does when you get stressed is you get busy, right? You go and run up a new kitchen cupboard in the garage, or plant a new vegetable garden, or reformat your pantry cupboard. There's a lot that you can do with your energy. So keep this energy flowing correctly, because otherwise, you know that when your energy doesn't go anywhere, you get really fed up and depressed. So the Three of Cups here with the Queen of Pentacles suggests that you can actually link with other people who really also like to get things done. You could become involved in a group project, get your family to do something with you. There's plenty that you can do to keep your energy moving in the right direction. All right, Aquarius, you are the next star sign. And when I look at where your energy is, Aquarius, you've also been through quite a challenging time, but your focus should be on now 1, 6, health and well-being and working. This is where you want to be. You want to be able to channel your energy and get things done. If you haven't been looking after yourself, this is the time to tackle that diet, sort out all the junk food in your house, get rid of it, give it away to your enemies, and start focusing on what you can do to keep yourself and your work environment as orderly and as healthy and productive as possible. Your first advice card is the Knight of Wands, and this is the card that says, yes, here we go. We have energy, we have a vehicle, we have a goal. Just get stuck in and do things. Don't just live here, Aquarius, because you can sometimes think about stuff and never get around to doing it. Procrastination won't help. The planet Mars is sitting in Aries, and it's in your first, second, third house, which means if there's something that needs to get done, get up and do it. You need to communicate with the people that you work with. You need to keep your focus strong, and you need to keep things moving. Now, your hidden card coming at the bottom of the pack is Strength, and whenever this card comes up, it says that yes, you will make it. You will make it. Just keep going ahead. The more positive steps you take, the stronger you're going to be. And now, Pisces, you're the last sign that we're looking at. Your first advice card is the Chariot. And your intuition is likely to be pretty strong now. If you haven't had an interesting dream, you're probably likely to dream something interesting in the next few days. Your ability to stay focused and to work with people is certainly going to be enhanced by your ability to trigger things and get things going. So if you've always been the kind of person who just hasn't gotten anything done, the Chariot suggests that it's time to get moving now. But the warning card, the King of Swords, suggests that you also have to be very careful. Don't just rush in, just spot the opportunity, plan, and then move ahead. You know, if you go on a long holiday, you have to first pack and plan your journey. And the same, these cards are saying, don't just rush in. You can get there if you plan very carefully. If you do find that this helps you, please let me know. I'd love a comment or even an email. And if you want a copy of my free ebook, please remember, let me have your email address and I'll send you a copy as soon as I can. Thank you so much for listening and have a very good week.